at regular times. Looking at things in a bigger picture, the first of the month was a pretty good start for everything. Without a doubt, not a single person is whining about it. The fact that everything is going so well right now is really great. It's now clear that Bitcoin really did break out this morning, inside the band since it had been there for about 2 weeks. Since our last post last night, you should know that Bitcoin has gone above that level. There are also some numbers that haven't been evaluated since February that are being looked at again. There is without a doubt a huge amount of energy going on right now. Right now, there is complete silence about this. Compared to Bitcoin, XRP has lost only about 1.3%. Its price is now $2.22, and its market value is over $2.1 billion, 0 cents. Every day, trades worth more than $130 billion, 0 cents, are expected to happen. But before moving forward, be careful. Don't use anything you hear on this station. Instead of getting help from a professional financial advisor before putting money into cryptocurrencies, you should always be careful and do your own study. The market value of all cryptocurrencies has gone back up to $3 trillion, 0 cents. You did get that, yes? Right away. In addition, Bitcoin is the market leader right now, if that makes sense. I've already told you that Bitcoin is the leader right now. I've said this a lot of times in person and on my show. Just look at the dominance to figure out what's going on. That's really how simple it is. There's no doubt that the current movement of Bitcoin will have a good effect on other cryptocurrencies. This is because Bitcoin is clearly powerful. This explosive action, on the other hand, will not happen, which we are all aware of. On the other hand, power is growing. There is a lot of talk about other cryptocurrencies, but Bitcoin's price isn't where the market is right now. Yes, my excitement does get the best of me sometimes, but you all seem to see Bitcoin as the clear winner. And to make matters worse, given how things are now, I'm not surprised if Bitcoin sets a new high. Now let's talk about this before we go on to that. We'll talk about the price afterward. When it comes to exciting companies in the Middle East and Africa using cryptocurrencies, Ripple is proud to be at the front of the pack, places where businesses can use cryptocurrency. They offer many services such as safe storage for cryptocurrencies and processing foreign payments. We got a license from the Dubai Financial Services Authority and were the first payment service provider to do so. This was made possible by blockchain technology. Please remember that we are talking about both the process and different ways it could be used in the real world to changing the way money is handled now. We need a new way because the old one is clearly out of date. This is where Ripple payments come in handy. Digital assets are becoming more popular in the real world, and as more rules are put in place for crypto assets, demand will only grow. You already know what they're building and that they're adding institutional groups as new clients. I want to tell you how excited I am about this and ask that you explain what's going on. Of course, this is where the problem of custody comes into play. Not in North America. This is nothing new for us on this station. We know it's having an effect on North America and other places around the world. In any case, here is the Bitcoin M2 money supply. Everyone knows that M2 has been doing much better than Bitcoin in terms of supply. Aware of this, and we have also seen a clear increase in the amount of M2 available around the world. A lot of experts have already drawn your attention to the global M2 supply. You've seen the chart and seen that it has a positive relationship with Bitcoin. More importantly, you've also seen that Bitcoin is currently trending, and this is where the fact that Bitcoin is popular really gets interesting. Is a new all-time high for Bitcoin about to happen? It looks like it will soon. Should we keep an eye on the world's stock of M2? You can see a link between the M2 stock and Bitcoin's price history. Very good friendship between the two. Based on this, it looks like this is actually the case. I thought it would be helpful to share this with you all, because Mr. Man is starting to say something really exciting. We'll talk about how much it costs later. Ripple is already well known in the regulatory world with more than 50 money exchangers. It has U.S. rights and is going to work with XLR officially this month in May 2025 by using XLR's cutting-edge cross-chain infrastructure. Because of this deal, XRP should be much more useful on many other blockchain networks. If you know what I mean, you probably already know this, but this means that more people will be able to use blockchain technology in different situations. By being able to switch between environments like Ethereum and Cosmos without any problems, it will become more useful. It's true that May 2025 is right in the middle of a wave of changes to regulations, which is why this time is so important. Building up the framework for cash flow and new ideas in digital identification. I'm sorry about that launch problem. XRP is set to be a big player in the next part of digital finance because it is now accepted by institutional frameworks and compliance technologies. This month marks a major milestone in this process. As you know, liquidity is beginning to free up points this month as cobalt gets better, which is great. Again, between March and April, inflation was lower and institutions became more interested in XRP. This set the stage for the protocol that will be key to the next era of digital banking. The policy changes made by the U.S. Department of Justice and the Treasury Department have had a big impact, and their ability to work together well has. When compliance and communication come together in May 2025. On April 2025, stable coin systems will go live in the US, the UK, and the Middle East. These tests will make it possible for 5 digital payment and identification systems that will be used in Canada to trade and grow. The countries in the EU and parts of the Asia-Pacific. That's a really interesting point of view. No matter what, let's find out what's going on. That's why the rise to power isn't really a surprise. Bitcoin just broke out of the 96,000 zone, so take a look. You can check this out for yourself. We traded for a long time in the 96.0 range. Getting close to this stage, we were still able to break out and hit a high point of about $98,000.00 BTC. We could update it right now in real time if you're having a lot of trouble with it. You already know that Bitcoin has broken out of the 97.3% band. You must know that we couldn't move forward, right, about these kinds of. You know that there is a lot of resistance around this range, but keep in mind that the resistance we were facing before is now helping us. If you want to buy in XRP, you probably already know that the price of the cryptocurrency hasn't gone up much so far in 2019. As you know, most people don't pay attention to that because dominance is so cool, but we're not on our channel anyway, so that's a problem.